America has many famous names, but few are as loved, hated, and discussed as Donald Trump. To some, he is a bold businessman who spoke for ordinary people. To others, he is a dangerous politician who divided a nation. This is the story of a boy from New York, who went from real estate deals to reality TV fame, all the way to the White House. Not a praise video, not an attack. Just a journey from childhood to power and beyond. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in the Queensboro of New York City. His father, Fred Trump, was a real estate developer who built and rented apartments and houses. The family had German and Scottish roots, and they were financially comfortable but strict. As a child, Donald was energetic, sometimes aggressive. In school, he could be loud, get into arguments, and didn't always follow the rules. His father worried that this energy could turn into trouble. So while Donald was still a teenager, he was sent to New York Military Academy, a boarding school with military-style discipline. There, Donald lived in uniforms, followed orders, and faced tough routines. But he also learned about leadership. He led cadet groups, took part in sports, and started to enjoy being the one in front. Many people say this is where his strong, confident leader personality really began to form. After military school, Donald Trump went to Fordham University for 2 years, then transferred to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, one of America's well-known business schools. He graduated with a degree in economics. After college, he joined his father's company. Fred Trump's business focused on middle-class housing and apartment buildings in the outer parts of New York City. But Donald wanted something bigger. He dreamed of luxury hotels, shiny skyscrapers, and buildings right in the center of Manhattan, with one name in giant gold letters, Trump. In the 1970s and 1980s, Donald Trump started working on high-profile projects: office towers, hotels, and later casinos. Trump Tower in Manhattan became one of his most famous symbols. He loved media attention. He called reporters, gave interviews, appeared in newspapers and magazines. Slowly, Trump became more than a surname. It became a brand. But this story also has a darker side. Some deals worked brilliantly. Others failed badly. Several of his casinos and businesses went through bankruptcy. Supporters say that's just how business works. Big risks, big wins, big losses. Critics say it shows poor planning and too much ego. Success and failure, glory and debt, both ran side by side in Donald Trump's business life in the early 2000s. Donald Trump took a new step into television. A reality show called The Apprentice was launched. In this show, young professionals competed in business-style tasks and challenges. They worked in teams, and every week one person was sent home. At the center of it all sat Donald Trump in the boardroom, ending each episode with his famous words, "You're fired." That phrase became part of pop culture. The show turned Trump from a business figure into a full-blown TV celebrity. Now, millions of Americans didn't just know his buildings. They knew his face, his voice, his style. Some viewers liked his confidence and direct way of speaking. Others thought he was arrogant and full of himself. But no one could ignore him. This television fame would later become a powerful tool when he stepped into politics. For years, Donald Trump gave interviews where he commented on politics. Sometimes he supported Republicans, sometimes Democrats, often criticizing both. But in 2015, he made an announcement that shook American politics. Donald Trump said he would run for president of the United States as a Republican. His slogan was simple and catchy: "Make America great again." With that line, he began holding huge rallies across the country. His style was very different from traditional politicians. He spoke in simple language, often very direct, sometimes very harsh. He attacked the media, called out opponents by name, and focused heavily on topics like immigration, jobs, trade deals, and the idea of putting America first. On Twitter, he spoke directly to millions of people, without filters, without careful political language. Every tweet could become tomorrow's headline. To many supporters, this felt fresh and honest. They saw him as an outsider who could break a corrupt system and stand up for ordinary Americans. To many critics, his words were dangerous. They saw his comments on immigrants, Muslims, and other groups as offensive or even racist. They believed his style was dividing the country. In the 2016 election, his main opponent was Hillary Clinton, a former First Lady, Senator, and Secretary of State, a very experienced politician. Most polls and experts expected Hillary Clinton to win. But on election night, the results surprised the world. Trump won several key swing states, like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Through the Electoral College, Donald Trump was elected the 45th President of the United States. On January 20, 2017, he took the oath of office on the steps of the U.S. Capitol. As millions watched, from his first day in the White House, Donald Trump's presidency was intense and controversial. What do his supporters point to? They say he focused on the economy. His administration passed tax cuts, reduced many business regulations, and tried to encourage companies to invest and create jobs in America. In foreign policy, he pushed the idea of America first. He questioned old trade deals, took a tough stance on China, and demanded that U.S. allies in NATO pay more for their own defense. On immigration, his approach was strict. He talked about building a border wall, increasing border security, and tightening immigration rules. Supporters viewed this as protecting American workers and national security. What do his critics say? To many critics, Trump's style and words made the country more divided. They argue that his comments about immigrants, minorities, and opponents often crossed the line, creating fear and anger between different groups of people. His constant battles with the media, calling many reports fake news, and attacking journalists on Twitter, raised concerns about respect for a free press. During his time in office, political polarization, the gap between left and right, seemed to grow even deeper. Then came the COVID-19 pandemic. Trump's handling of the crisis became one of the biggest debates of his presidency. Supporters say he tried to protect the economy, sped up vaccine development, and faced a crisis no one was fully prepared for. Critics say he downplayed the virus early on, sent mixed messages about masks and safety, and attacked experts and governors who disagreed with him. During his term, Trump also faced impeachment twice, formal charges brought by Congress. Both times the Senate did not remove him from office, so he finished his 4-year term. But the impeachments added even more controversy to his name. In 2020, Donald Trump ran for president again, this time against Democrat Joe Biden. The election took place in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Millions of people voted early or by mail. According to the official results, Joe Biden won the election. Trump, however, claimed there was widespread fraud and challenged the results in several states and in court. Most courts and officials found no proof of large-scale fraud that could change the outcome. On January 6, 2021, a large protest was held in Washington, D.C. by Trump supporters who believed the election had been stolen. Later that day, some of them stormed the U.S. Capitol building. The images of that day shocked America and the world, and became one of the most controversial moments in modern U.S. political history. Even after leaving the White House, Trump did not disappear. He continued to hold rallies, remained very influential inside the Republican Party, and hinted repeatedly about running for president again. At the same time, he faced multiple legal investigations and cases. His supporters see these as political attacks. His critics see them as long overdue accountability. Donald Trump's story is not a simple success movie, and not just a failure either. It is a mix of ambition and risk, big wins and big losses, loud support and loud opposition. A boy from Queens, born into a real estate family, turns his surname into a global brand, steps onto reality TV, and then climbs to the most powerful office in the world. Some people call him a hero. Others call him a villain. But almost everyone agrees on one thing. Donald Trump changed American politics. This video doesn't judge whether he was right or wrong. It simply shows how one strong personality, with an unshakable belief in himself and a love for the spotlight, can leave a deep mark on a country and on history. And if you watch till the end, thank you. If you like these story-style videos, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss the next upload. Tell me in the comments which personality you want to see a story on next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.